Hey, what is good everyone? Happy Mamba Day. Mike Wang has dropped a ton of news about NBA 2K24, so let's get right into the news. First thing we have is there is 24 new badges in honor of Mamba, 2 for like I'm Kobe, left hand like Ginobili. And don't be too excited because chances are you're not going to be able to use all those badges. A lot of badges are probably just renamed and repackaged, as well as there's probably just a ton of badges that they remove. Remember, just because there is new badges doesn't mean it's necessarily a good thing. Unlike having more dribble sigs and combos and dunk animations, because you're limited in the number of badges you can get, having more badges and more options isn't necessarily a good thing. And they could just be splitting up badges and merging badges, just like they have done in the past, where they split Dimer into Dimer, Needle Threader, and all these other different passing badges, where it used to all just fall under Dimer, and how they separated Intimidator into Challenger as well as an Anchor. Chances are there's not really going to be new badges that really do new things. There might be a few new badges that do new things, but my honest opinion is that most of these badges will just be reworked things that we've had in the past. We also had another person ask what will be the sweet spot for passing this year. Mike Wang replied, pretty subjective, but pass accuracy's impact on the types/speed of your passes will be very similar to 2K23. Try out different passing styles too. They make a big difference. So honestly, passing is pretty much going to be the same as in 2K23, but apparently these new passing styles will make a big difference. You guys know in 2K23, the best passing style was no passing style. So hopefully they do add a buff to the passing styles. But it looks like if you were able to run with a low passing this year or just a mid passing this year, then chances are you'll probably still be able to run with a mid passing next year. Mike Wang says they're adding in some new green animations as well as a couple extra shot meters. No one really cares. But here's something that is actually important. So a user by the name of AyoSTR8 tweeted at Baluba, does driving dunk rating play a factor in green window for a contact dunk as well as an open dunk? Mike Wang said yes, it's the same main driver for the dunk meter window size. True then replied, so it's the same with 3-point rating also with shot meter green window size? Mike Wang said, ratings and defensive coverage are the most important factors when determining your green window size. Badges play a role, but a much smaller role, like icing on the cake. Now this is a big tweet because you guys know most years your player can't really shoot that well until he gets his badges up, and then you'll be a sniper. But Mike Wang's saying this year that your attributes are going to be the main thing that's going to determine how well you shoot, and then your badges are just going to be a slight upgrade. So that means they might be buffing the effects that your attributes have on your player and nerfing the effects that badges have on your player, which who knows how that will really affect the gameplay and stuff, but it will definitely affect how you want to make your build in the My Player Builder. Mike Wang also said that they're going from 7 passing styles in 2K23 to 14 in 2K24. Now, as I said, just because they add more passing styles doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be a good thing if those passing styles are useless like they are in 2K23. So hopefully with the addition of pro play and all that kind of stuff, there won't just be more passing styles, but they'll actually have a benefit. I can definitely see if some passing styles give you way quicker animations, then it may be a good reason for people to actually upgrade their passing, and they might be able to get some flashy Magic Johnson passes that actually look good and are useful in the park. And Pro-Am. Kmart said, will there be the same shot timing change according to where you are on the floor like there was in 2K23? Mike Wang responded, shot timing doesn't change based on court location. Now this isn't as big of a W as the fact that they said that they were going to change the random shot timings when your player just shoots the ball slow and then really fast. But he's saying shot timings, no matter where you are on the court, is going to be the same. So even if you're shooting from deep, you're still going to have the same shot timing as if you're shooting at mid-range, which I think is honestly pretty good, like how it used to be 2K17. If you go watch old gameplay, the limitless range shots did just look a lot smoother just because the timings was the same as a normal jump shot. And it's going to make it a lot easier to be consistent all around the three, especially if you're a dribbler, step back, and you don't exactly know where you are going to be shooting from and how it's going to affect your timing. Mike Wang, please see this, said, are acrobatic layups going to work the same? Mike Wang said, functionally they are the same. Hitch the shot button or flick the pro stick to change shot mid-air. They were slightly nerfed though, especially for lower rated players. Now it's interesting the fact that he said they were nerfed, because my guess would be the acrobatic layups were probably going to be more overpowered considering pro players' new animations. You're going to be able to get some crazy Kyrie Jason Tatum layup packages. But from the way that he said, hit the shot button or flick the pro stick to change shot mid-air, I think he's talking about the super difficult bailout type layups. And I know they were a problem at the start of 2K23, but at the end of the 2K23, they really didn't seem like that much of a problem. So I don't know how much nerf they're going to be, if that just means they're going to be completely useless unless you have a really high layup. Now, Jay Chandler said, Appalooba, when you're saying you added 150 dribble animations, is that for 6 size up, moving crossover, moving spins, etc.? Mike Wang said, this is Myths info. I said there are 150 motion styles, not dribble animations. There's a lot more dribbles than that. 25 dribble styles, 31 behind the backs, 18 step backs, 45 crossovers, 27 headies, 26 escapes, 20 combo packs, 102 breakdown combos, 67 size ups, and 30 spins. And these are signature packages. Most have multiple animations inside of them. Now, just because they have all these dribble animations doesn't mean all of them are going to be useful. In 2K23, to be honest, most dribble animations only really had one good package. There was only really one good behind the back, normal one spin back. There was a few signature size ups and stuff, but there's always a few of them that are always pretty decent. But generally in every other year from pretty much 2K17 to I want to say 2K21, maybe 2K22, I didn't play 2K22, but there's only ever really been 2 crossovers that are good and 2 behind the backs. You generally have one behind the back for slashes that goes behind the back straight to the ring, and then one behind the back that's better for sharpshooters that, kind of moves you out to the left or right, so that you can get open shots. So it'll be interesting to see how many of the dribble animations are actually useful. BADGEPLUG tweeted, Appalooba, what do you think has the biggest skill gap in gameplay on NBA 2K24? Mike Wang said meter dunks and pass intercepts in my opinion. Young Grandmaster ISO Sensei Young Swan replied, you know damn well ain't no meter dunks gonna have a skill gap in it because then no one would use it. Laughing crying face emoji. You want your new feature to be used. And honestly, he has a point. Realistically, how much of a skill gap can having a dunk meter have in the game? Is it going to be so ridiculously hard to time and pick where you want to do it that it's going to be impossible for almost anyone to use, but it's going to be really OP for the people that can use it? Or is it just going to be like how we have dunk meters right now, where it's not ridiculously hard to time, but it is a little bit hard to time, so people that can use it kind of just cheese with it, and then everyone else just can't cheese with it? And then passing intercepts, generally they always start off in the game really good, passing intercepts are fire. And then as the game goes on, they nerf them because people just get absolutely clapped 21-0 with 10 turnovers in a park game. So whenever they try and make intercepts really good and really buff the defense in terms of intercepts, generally that gets packed up real quick. So take what Mike Wang has to say with a grain of salt there, in my opinion. The Don said, in NBA 2K23, there's a lot of missed layups from big men, especially when you're 7'3", long wingspan, jump high enough to see in the rim, and have a pretty decent layup. Is that being fixed in 2K24? Mike Wang said bunnies are much easier to convert in 24. So I'm guessing that means the height gap is going to matter a bit in 2K24, hopefully. So we might see a return of the 7'3" centers, who knows? Because this year, if people got Hall of Fame Intimidator in the paint, which any good interior defender will have, anchor, then even if you're 7'3" and you're trying to finish on a 6'9" or a 6'10", like I was a 6'10" lockdown, they're not making it, okay? They're missing the majority of those shots. They might get the rebound, they might be able to put it back up again, and chances are they'll probably miss again. So hopefully this year, actually, I don't know if it's a hopefully, but chances are 7'3" might be a little bit cheesy, at least at the start of the game. So from the sounds of it, if you guys want an absolute god squad and you want to run up your record as quickly as possible in 2K24, I'd probably play 2s with some sort of sharpshooter, playmaker, and a 7'3" glass. Sounds like it might be the new wave, considering we've got all these new dribble styles, so hopefully point guards get a buff, then 7'3" centers are also known to be OP. Ray Sean said, Appalooba, what's the maximum height this year for guards, 6 size ups like Darius Garland, Steve Francis, Trae Young, etc. Mike Wang said height thresholds are the same as last year. So if you guys are looking for particular size up, particular dribble animations that were height restricted this year, they're going to be height restricted next year as well. So just remember that when you open up the builder in NBA 2K24 for the first time. This idiot said, are there new dunk animations this year? Can't wait for them in this game. Fire emoji, can't wait for the game. Mike Wang said, always. We've got that much news about pro play. Of course, there'll be new dunk animations. Fun Gaming said, asking again, is rookie difficulty available again in my career? Lots of handicap players will be happy if it is. They've been constantly asking about it, but get no answer anywhere. Mike Wang said, yes, you can play on rookie. I don't know if rookie was in 23, but I know they did remove it in one game. So I'm glad they brought that back because rookie is just fun. Sometimes you just gotta get the frustration out, drop 200. It is what it is. Now, Iced said, at Beluba, what's the max height for each position? Mike Wang said point guards 6'8", shooting guards 6'9", small forwards 6'11", power forwards 7 foot, and centers 7'3", so not getting any Wembies. And then E-Dog replied to that and said, okay, at Beluba, would the 7'3" be moving like Wemby is the real question. Mike Wang said maybe 50-year-old Wemby. So realistically, it's going to be the same as every other year. You know, you can kind of combo up with the 7'3" center, but you're going to be real slow. If you want to play that 7'3" point center, I've done it before. More 2K18, 2K17. It's definitely not comp, but it is funny and it is fun, and you might be able to do it a little bit, but not comply. Alex Jr. said, at Beluba, how would the adrenaline bars work for offensive bigs in the paint trying to fight for position? Drop steps and box out always be bumping people. I've seen the offensive players get 3 bumps, so would it be the same or different? Now, this is a very, very big point, because if dribblers get bumped, they're saying we don't lose an adrenaline bar. But if they make it for post scorers, lose an adrenaline bar, try to go into the post, RIP post scorers, it's wraps. Mike Wang though said adrenaline bars don't get eaten up on post back downs, box out battles, or post moves. Just face up drive attempts that get bumped. Now it's interesting that he says post moves, because the fact that post spins are so cheesy sometimes. If you post spin and you get people in like the ankle breaker animation, or you drop step at all, I reckon they should use a adrenaline bar just to balance out guards. Honestly, I think they should get rid of adrenaline altogether, but if they're going to have it to balance out bigs and guards, some post moves should use adrenaline. If you're trying to dribble with the post spin and no one's behind you, I don't think it should use adrenaline, because, you know, a lot of people like to, you know, they kind of back off and you're using the post spin to kind of dribble and move actually quickly. I don't think they should use an adrenaline, but if you actually got someone on you and you spin, you should only get 3 attempts at that. Because if you can just keep doing that without losing adrenaline, then why would you make a guard if you can't dribble? But you can just abuse post spins and have no consequence to your adrenaline. Now, Legend says, at Beluba, are you guys bringing back walking size ups in 2K19? Mike Wang replied, I like the walking size up, but the dribble community mostly hated them. Many of the dribble breakdown combos look just like walking size ups though, so you can try those out. Now, I don't remember why we hated walking size ups, but I do remember us hating walking size ups. So I don't remember why, but I'm glad they're not bringing it back. In relation to that though, PB&J Sandwich replied, at Beluba, will there be cool park size ups like in 2K21? Mike Wang replied, no park size ups, but there are some really cool park specific drill moves that happen out of body ups like nutmegs and other and one type moves. So that's fine, that's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm sure Steezo's gonna get real creative with them, real abusive with them. I don't remember if nutmegs were in 2K. I don't think I've seen like nutmegs in terms of like nutmegging other people in 2K23. But I remember in one game, Steezo, G-Man, all those like dribble heads were really abusing them, and like it was fun to watch. It looks sick. Not many people could do that. This was a huge skill gap. It wasn't really that abusable for the average person. So that's kind of fun that they're bringing them park dribble moves back. I did like the park size ups though. I almost wish they did bring them back. But then last but not least, Josh said, at Beluba, is shooting mid-ranges and shooting from the post require the same rating? Or am I going to be able to hit mid-range jump shots as long as I'm in the post? I don't know how that made sense, but whatever. Mike Rain replied, shot mid rating is used for both normal middies and mid-range post fades, but different badges effects are applied. So if you're looking to make a shot creator, then you're gonna upgrade your mid-range shot. If you're trying to make a post scorer, you're gonna upgrade your mid-range shot. So post scorers are going to be a good mid-range option, and shot creators are gonna have a good post game. So that's kind of cool. But either way, man, that's really the majority of the news. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit that like, subscribe button. I really do appreciate it, and I'm out. See ya.